Okay, I'm going to try doing something here that I've never done before. This is on your speeches having to do with informative speech and some of the things that you said, and I'm going to comment as you ask your fellow students to comment. So, James Kindred, you are talking about Dollywood or possibly the Grand Canyon or Painter Desert, Old Tucson. All good topics. Now, tell a story. What is it about these places? Dollywood, of course, is Dolly Parton, so one of the issues would be, do we see Dolly Parton if we go there? Does she entertain in any way? What is it about Dollywood that makes it different, if it is, from other amusement parks? What about the surrounding area? What about the travel to get there? How good are the roads? How good is the trip? Speed traps along the way? All of these kinds of things that would be helpful. Also, talk in terms that a lot of people like to know. A family of four, let's say. What kind of cost is there for that? What do they have there? What's there to do? Obviously for kids, older kids, younger kids, and also for adults. All of this will come in very, very handy when you're doing your speech, and could in fact really help a lot of people in what you're doing. Now, some of the people that responded to you gave you some really good information. Mark came in and he said, I've heard about Dollywood, makes a great trip. I love to travel, like to do things, and he'd like to enjoy the experience that you enjoyed there. Also, Jennifer Roberts said that make an interesting speech. She's never been to any of those places. So one of your challenges is you've been there, so how do you help people who have never been there understand what it is about the place that you found that was good, interesting, exciting, etc.? And then you have a comment from Mia, and she wants to know what points you'll be discussing, all the kinds of things we've talked about, the environment. This is all good stuff, and that's the kind of thing that we're talking about throughout. So, nice job. You got some good comments there, and hopefully that'll help you formulating your speech to get things done right. Now I'm switching to our next person, and that'll be Heather Reynolds. And Heather, when the speech comes up here, or when the information comes up, it's a little slow on the computer. I've never done it this way before, so we'll find out. Heather says she's considering Coca-Cola curves and Leslie Sansone. Don't know exactly what you're talking about doing there, but Coca-Cola brings up some interesting topics. When they came out with the new Coke, they almost killed their product. People like the old Coke. You can have a new Coke, but don't do away with the old Coke, and all of that controversy. That was several years ago, and it was a heck of a controversy, and there's still a lot of things that people today perhaps don't even remember what was going on there. If you're going to do something on Coke, remember one of their top competitors is Pepsi. So what do they do about the competition? How do they stay ahead? What are their marketing strategies? Don't stick just with the U.S. What about international marketing strategies? How do you assure, like if you get a McDonald's in Alabama, it should taste the same as a McDonald's in Bloomington. What about if you get a Coke in France? Does it taste the same as a Coke in Indiana? That kind of stuff. It's all very interesting. Curves, workout. Remember, your audience isn't all women. If it is just women, then what would you say to women? What would you say to men? You've got all of these things that come into play that could be some very interesting information. And then James said that you have some interesting ideas. It looks like you need to go back to organization, create your outline, things like that. You got a lot of information there. Write it out, read it, then practice it. I'm a firm believer in write every speech, beginning to end. You can't deliver a speech you haven't written. When you write it out, then time it. You'll have an idea what it is. Then reduce it to your note cards. When you write it out, you can also reduce it from the written out version to the actual speaker notes and speaker outline that will help you in the long run in many ways. I'm not moving as fast on these as I thought I would. I'm calling up the next person. So as soon as the computer decides to do its job, which it's not doing very quickly, I will go to the next person and we'll find out what they had to say. Okay, the next person is Mark Ader, and Mark, let's see what you came up with. Again, the computer is moving slowly. This may not have been a very good idea at all, but I wanted to comment on some of what you folks said. All right, Mark, you're considering doing a speech on the on visiting Manila in the Philippines. Um, you did that. You want to include living conditions, tourist attractions, different types of people, what you'll get when you get there. All right, same comments to you as to James Kindred. This may be immensely interesting to you. Why should I care? Why should I go? What are the costs? What are the inherent dangers in traveling? The Philippines have had some revolutions. Those kinds of things. What do the average tourist types need to know about it? Passport needed, undoubtedly. How far ahead do you have to do all of that? It's not just get on a plane and decide to go to the Philippines. Why did you go there the first time? What did you find interesting about it? All of these things come into play when you tell a story, and that's what you constantly want to do, is tell a story about what's going on in terms of everything that is a part of what you're trying to do. Now let me go to the next person and see what we come up with there. This is moving very slowly, so we'll probably end up doing 2 or 3 of these in order to get them all in. All right, so the next person is Jennifer Roberts, and Jennifer, your stuff is coming up here again slowly, and we'll see what it has to say. All right, Jennifer, yours and Mark's were very short. Think about doing a speech on the mythical gods, Zeus, Athena, Poseidon, all of those kinds of things. You know quite a bit about them, could learn, definitely enjoy learning more. Well, the problem is what you like is not necessarily what anyone else likes. What you find interesting may be terribly interesting to you, but boring as all get out to other people. So your challenge is, how do you make it interesting? And, you know, I didn't like Greek mythology when I was in school. Can you hear someone saying that? Why do I care now? Wow. Okay, so tie it in with something. Talk to us about some of the things they said and did, what it means, how people today still believe in some of that. You got a lot of possibilities there, but tell it as a story. And also, don't forget, why are you interested in this? Again, credibility. How do you establish your own credibility? How much do you know about it? You said in this that you would definitely enjoy learning more. That doesn't scream that you have a lot of credibility in this. It says, I'm looking for something to talk about, and that's what came to mind. That's not a credible position to start with. So you want to talk about how much you know about this and how you can make it all work. Okay, we'll pick up after Jennifer next.